Teach and achieve and try to balance as best you can. I am Claudia Kairoff. I am a professor emerita of English, and I've been at Wake Forest since 1986.
I had heard about Claudia before I arrived at Wake Forest. I had friends who did 18th century British literature, and when I told them that I would be moving to Wake Forest, they said, "You have to meet Claudia."
I just felt so at ease with her immediately, and so welcome. And I thought this would be really wonderful to be able to work with this person.
First of all, I mean, she, for me, exemplifies what we mean at Wake Forest by the teacher scholar. That's a term that we all aspire to be, but she lived it.
In the United States, we have some universities and colleges that are primarily devoted to teaching, but they don't do research and they're not advancing knowledge on their own. And then we have major research universities where research is the most important thing. But Wake Forest tries to combine the love of teaching and the desire to advance knowledge in your field.
And she epitomizes the best of that ideal. She models the best of that ideal. Claudia is an extraordinary teacher scholar.
Claudia served as an associate dean and helped me greatly in the dean's office during that time. She had a very considerable role in writing the statement of Wake Forest's teacher-scholar ideal.
We wanted the teaching to come first because it was our emphasis, but we also wanted to balance that with real scholarship because the teaching enriches your scholarship and the scholarship enriches your teaching, and the two are just absolutely symbiotic. That's how we came up with that formula.
And it was the model for her career because she was always a fine teacher, and after she left the dean's office, she continued to pursue scholarship, won a major grant.
She's produced 3 books in 18th century British poetry, which is her field. She's editor with a colleague of the Cambridge edition of the poetry of Finch.
My first book was on Alexander Pope and women who read him in the 18th century. That actually inspired me to do more studies of the women themselves, even than Alexander Pope. Because I found so many women who were writing about Pope and responding to Pope. It's like Pope was their brother or uncle or something, and they had something to say to him. So that led me on a trail.
She brought a lot of attention to women writers and women readers in the 18th century.
And I made the acquaintance of Jennifer Keith because she is, another 18th century scholar at UNCG. And she had been working already on an actual edition of Finch. There had never been a good critical edition of Finch.
That was a big project that took several years to bring to fruition.
It was an immense work of scholarly labor, and there's now like this complete scholarly edition of this very important poet who you could never read in any kind of authoritative form before.
The fact that she's gotten 2 NEH grants, not 1 but 2 NEH grants to do the editing project for the Anne Finch letters and papers is unheard of, absolutely unheard of.
What they have produced is going to be a landmark in the field and will be something that scholars there are going to refer to for years to come.
What I really admire about her is her willingness to take on so many other things.
She did everything at Wake Forest.
She has been secretary to the University Senate.
An associate dean, as the chair of the English department, as the chair of the art department for a while.
Doing a lot of really hard, difficult, challenging things. Claudia was willing to go in and give it her very, very best. She really understood the importance of supporting younger scholars and helping them be successful.
When I did come to Wake Forest, she was warm and welcoming, an amazing mentor. Claudia was wonderful at helping me and other faculty think about how best to use our time, and we could see the way that she contributed in different ways at different points in her career.
Claudia just embraces life, and she has an amazing mind and a really big heart.
And she has been a leader. She has been chosen by her fellow faculty for a number of important positions in leadership.
In addition to all her many achievements, she is truly a lovely person. She has an irrepressible sense of humor. And it's joyous, life-affirming when you most need it.
Claudia's laugh means a lot to me because it symbolizes or expresses her joy in life, her love of her work, her care for people.
Particularly in these times, I think we need a lot more people who are kind and intelligent and willing to listen to and work with everybody the way Claudia is.
I admire her as much for the person that she is as I do for her work as a scholar and as a teacher. She's a remarkable person.
She has contributed to Wake Forest in every possible way. She is so deserving of this award.